Reading practice. Story. The Heart of the Flame. In the ancient village of Ember Hollow, nestled between jagged mountains and whispering forests, fire was more than a tool, it was life itself. The villagers worshipped it as a god, tending to the great hearth at the center of their square, where flames danced eternally, fed by sacred logs from the elder tree. Legend spoke of how the first flame was born from a star that fell from the heavens, igniting the world and granting warmth to the cold earth. But fire, as the elders warned, was a double-edged sword, a giver of light and a devourer of all. Elara was a young orphan raised by the village blacksmith, Old Thorn. With hair as red as molten iron and eyes that sparkled like embers, she had always felt a kinship with fire. While other children feared the forge's roar, Elara would sneak in at night, watching the flames twist and turn as if alive. "Fire speaks," Thorn would say, hammering away at glowing steel. But only to those who listen. Elara listened deeply. She dreamed of flames that whispered secrets, of a world where fire wasn't just heat but a spirit with desires and rage. One fateful autumn, as leaves turned to gold and winds grew bitter, a stranger arrived. He called himself Ignis, a wanderer from the distant firelands, where volcanoes spewed rivers of lava and the ground itself burned. Tall and cloaked in charred robes, his skin was etched with glowing tattoos that pulsed like veins of fire. The villagers eyed him warily, but Elara was drawn to him. "You carry the spark," he told her on their first meeting by the great hearth. "The true heart of the flame lives in you." Ignis spoke of a prophecy: a great blaze would consume Ember Hollow unless the chosen one tamed the wild fire, a primal force trapped in the mountains. The villagers dismissed him as a madman, but Elara believed. That night, as thunder rumbled and rain threatened to douse the hearth, she followed Ignis into the forest. "Why me?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Because you don't fear it," he replied. "You understand its hunger." Their journey led them up treacherous paths, where rock steamed and the air smelled of sulfur. Ignis revealed his story. He was once a guardian of the Firelands, but a betrayal had unleashed the wild fire, a beast of pure flame that devoured everything in its path. It had slumbered for centuries, but now it stirred, drawn by the village's sacred flames. "Only one with the heart of fire can bind it," he said. Elara's pulse quickened. She felt a warmth in her chest, as if her blood itself was igniting. As they ascended, the mountain came alive. Geysers of steam erupted, and fissures glowed within a light. Ilara's dreams intensified, visions of a colossal dragon made of fire, its wings scorching the sky. "It's calling you," Ignis urged. But doubt crept in. What if she failed? What if the fire consumed her, as it had her parents in a long-ago blaze? At the summit, they found the crater of Origins, a vast bowl of blackened stone ringed by lava pools. The wildfire manifested as a swirling vortex of flames, roaring like 1,000 furnaces. It lashed out, sending tendrils of heat that singed Ilara's clothes. Ignis chanted ancient words, summoning barriers of smoke, but the beast broke through, engulfing him in a burst of light. "Go!" he screamed, his form dissolving into ash. "Tame it or die trying." Alone, Ilara faced the inferno. The heat blistered her skin, but she stepped forward, remembering Thorn's lessons. "Fire isn't destruction," he had said. "It's transformation." She extended her hands, not to fight, but to embrace. The flames rushed toward her, wrapping around her body like a lover's arms. Pain exploded through her, memories of loss, of rage, of endless hunger. The wildfire wasn't evil, it was lonely, born from the earth's core, seeking connection. In that moment, Ilara's own fire awakened. Her red hair ignited into living flames, and her eyes burned gold. She spoke to it, not with words, but with her soul. "I see you. Join me, and we'll burn brightly together." The vortex hesitated, then surged into her, filling her veins with liquid heat. The pain faded, replaced by power. She was no longer just Ilara, she was the embodiment of fire, fierce, warm, eternal. Descending the mountain, Ilara returned to Ember Hollow transformed. The villagers gasped as she approached, her steps leaving smoldering footprints. The great hearth flared higher at her presence, as if greeting an old friend. But danger loomed. The wildfire's awakening had triggered a chain reaction. Forest fires raged on the horizons, encroaching on the village. The elders panicked, but Ilara raised her hands, and the flames obeyed. She drew them in, channeling the blaze into the hearth, where it burned steadily, harmlessly. Word spread of the fire-bearer, and pilgrims came from afar. Ilara taught them that fire wasn't to be feared or worshipped blindly, but respected as a partner. She forged tools that never dulled, healed the sick with controlled warmth, and lit the nights without end. Thorn, proud as a father, watched her lead. "You listened well," he said. "Yet, Power came with shadows. Elara felt the wildfire's urges to spread, to consume. One night, tempted by its whispers, she let a small flame escape, watching it dance free. It grew, threatening a nearby farm. Horrified, she reined it in, realizing balance was key. Fire could create or destroy, the choice was hers. Years passed, and Ember Hollow prospered. Elara became a legend, her story etched in flame-carved stones. But she never forgot Ignis's sacrifice or the mountain's lesson. Fire was life's spark, a force of renewal. In quiet moments, she gazed into the hearth, seeing visions of futures yet to burn. And so, in the heart of the flame, Elara found her purpose, not as a conqueror, but as a guardian. The village endured, warmed by the eternal dance of fire, a reminder that even in darkness, hope flickers brightest. Thanks for watching.